Uh, Shalom, shalom, family. Are we live? Are we live? All right, let's just listen to this song from the Jah Assembly, Just the Word Assembly, before we begin.
Yahuwah says to be holy. Yahuwah says to be perfect. And whatever we ask of him, we shall receive. Abba, help us be holy. Teach us to be perfect. Make us to be like you, because we believe. Oh, we're gonna sing. We're gonna lift up our hands to you. Yeah, we're gonna sing. We're gonna lift up our voice to you. We've left this world behind us. Our hearts are set on you. We're looking for your city, the Garden of Eden. It's like we choose. Let's worship in Ruach. We gotta worship in truth. 'Cause that's expected of me, and what's required of you. Abba, pour out your Ruach. Abba, lead us in truth. Draw us into your presence. We need more of you. Oh, we're gonna sing. Oh, we're gonna sing. We're gonna lift up our hands to you. Yeah, we're gonna sing. We're gonna lift up our voice to you. We've left this world behind us. Our hearts are set on you. We're looking for your city, the Garden of Eden. It's like we
Shalom, shalom, Joshua, Shama, Lorena, Leslie-Ann, Serena, Tyrone, Melissa, Nyongarang, Matan. Shabbat shalom to you all.
make us to be like you, because we believe. Oh, we're gonna sing.
I don't know why this
We're gonna lift up our hands to you.
thing sounds so.
Yeah, we're
But-
gonna sing. We're gonna lift up our voice to you. We've left this world behind us.
Less than a minute, we should
Hearts are set on you.
begin.
We're looking for your city, the Garden of Eden. It's like we choose.
Yeah. We're looking for the city, the Garden of Eden, the life we choose. Yeah, that song there. I think it was written and led by Naomi. She has her own YouTube channel. What's it? Freely. Yours Freely. I think that's the name of her channel. You can get her music there. Yours Freely. Yeah. I think that's the name. All right. Shalom, shalom. And welcome as we are here once again for another Shabbat teaching. Shout to those who are on already. We have also Ann Lewis, Only, Yasav, yeah, Deuce Williams, Marvette. Shalom to you all. Pass up the pillow there for me. Today we are going to be looking into an interesting topic, a topic that is often not spoken about, especially in the community of those who say they are followers of the way. And you're going to see how critical it is. It is a blindness that we're coming out of, spiritual blindness. And when we come into the way, we speak, we teach, and we argue over scriptures and all of that. But there are things that are happening in the background that we don't understand that is actually impacting us from in the shadows, and we don't know about it. All right, before we begin, let me remind you about our Wake Up and Live program, music and the word. That's what it is. We give a word, we play music. That's what it's all about. There is no guarantee what will happen on any day. So one day there'll be a lot of music, little talk. Another day there'll be a lot of talk and less music, depending on how the Most High leads us. All right? All right, so there's no set format to that one. Okay, so we are going to go into the topic, the hidden demons and the justice of the great I am. And we are going to begin in a book that you can get from our website. Let me get to it. 122, page 122. A book that you can get from our website. It's called the Nazarene Acts of the Apostles. We're going to start with that book. Is it 122? Yeah, we're going to start with that book. And you can go on our website and then you'll have to go in the search engine. You won't find it directly on the downloads page because we're having little problems with it. So, chapter 7 we are at. And we're going to look into understanding the hidden power of demons in the lives of the people of this world. All of us, including us as believers, they do not relent, they do not spare anyone. Chapter 7, the sick healed. This was Kepha when he was addressing some people, and a whole lot of persons came and heard about his renown. And let's go at verse 7. But when he saw that the crowds had, like the waters of a great river, poured over the narrow passage, he mounted upon a pillar that stood near the wall of the garden, and first saluted the people in his usual manner. But some of those who were present, and who had been for a long time distressed by demons, threw themselves on the ground, while the unclean spirits entreated that they might be allowed but for one day to remain in the bodies that they had taken possession of. But Kepha rebuked them and commanded them to depart, and they went out without delay. Let me make sure I'm getting this thing properly on the screen. It's not on the screen properly. Hold on, please. Let me get it lined up. Let me get it lined up. Coming up. All right, that should be it. Yeah. And begged to depart. Where was I? Without delay, yeah. After these, others who had been afflicted with long-standing sicknesses asked Kepha that they might receive healing, and he promised that he would entreat I am who I am for them as soon as his discourse of instruction was completed. So we see one of the hallmarks of the devils is sickness. Sickness. Meantime, while this was going on, a vast multitude assembled. A vast multitude assembled, attracted not only by the desire of hearing Kepha, but also by the report of the cures that had been accomplished. But Kepha, beckoning with his hand to the people to be still and settling the crowds in tranquility, began to address them as follows. So Kepha came and the devils were cast out, and it had to do with cures, with sicknesses, with illnesses. Chapter 8. It seems to me necessary at the outset of a discourse concerning the true worship of I Am, first of all to instruct those who have not as yet acquired any knowledge of the subject that throughout I am who I am must be maintained to be without blame, by which the world is ruled and governed. So whenever we're speaking about the Most High, he must be without blame. And we know worldly people, when they are talking about the Most High, how often they blame him. If such and such, that means he's evil. We have to keep him without blame, and then we will be able to understand and to get knowledge of him, because he is holy and there is no unrighteousness in him. If we worship him, study him on that premise, then nothing will go wrong. It says, moreover, the reason of the present undertaking and the occasion offered by those whom the power of the Most High has healed suggests this subject for a beginning, namely, to show that for good reason, listen to this carefully, very many persons are possessed of demons, so that the justice of the Most High may appear. I'm going to read that part again. For good reason, very many persons are possessed of demons, that so the justice of the Most High, or I am who I am, may appear. This is the foundation of this teaching today. Pay attention to this. Let me say it again. For good reason, very many persons are possessed of demons, that so the justice of I am who I am may appear. What is this? And what is this saying? It says, for good reason, very many persons are possessed of demons. So how can it be a good reason that many people are possessed of demons? But it says, that so that the justice of the Most High may appear. So the persons are possessed of the demons, so the justice of the Most High may appear. But what is the Most High's justice? And what does this actually mean? This is what the teaching is going to be about today. And we are going to show that demonic forces possess almost everyone. Even when you say you are believers, you are possessed or oppressed with demonic forces if certain things are not in line. For ignorance will be found to be the mother of almost all evils. The word says, my people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. So ignorance will be found to be the mother of all evils. When we don't know, that is when all the evils will be upon us, because it will be a silent, hidden danger. That's why the teaching is called the hidden demons and the justice of the great I am who I am. Let's stay with this one. A lot to be learned in this. All right. So I think we just did chapter 6 and 7, I think we did. Or chapter 7 and chapter 8. So it says, so that, let me say it again, for good reason, very many persons are possessed of demons, that so the justice of I am who I am may appear. What is the justice of the Most High? Let's go to Genesis 18, verse 19. We're going to look at a couple uses of the word justice as it relates to the Most High. Then we're going to look at the meaning of justice. Genesis 18:19. For I know him that he will command his children and his household after him, and they shall keep the way of I am to do justice and judgment, that I am may bring upon Abraham that which he had spoken of him. You should be looking on it so you can see the writings. Yeah? Yeah. And so, for I know him that he will command his children and his household after him, that they shall keep the way of I am to do justice and judgment. So he's speaking about Abraham. And he's saying, I will not hide anything from Abraham, because he will command his children and his household after him to keep the way of I am to do justice and judgment. Now, this is telling you that as parents, this is what we are called to do. We are called to command our children and our household to keep the way of I am who I am. But that is very difficult in today's world, especially for those of us who are of the captivity, especially if the family might be fragmented and all of that. Very hard to command a household that you do not have to do justice and judgment. All right? That I am may bring upon Abraham that which he has spoken of him. So the Most High says, that which he has promised, he will do it, because Abraham was in line. All right? 2 Samuel 8:15. And David reigned over all Yasharal, and David executed judgment and justice unto all his people. Unto all his people. So David was a man of the Most High's own heart, and he exercised judgment and justice. To do so let's look at the meaning of justice, because to do justice means essentially to do that which is right. 86666. Rightness, it's tzedakah, rightness, subject, abstractly rightness, subjectively rectitude. We're going to look at the meaning of rectitude. Objectively justice, morally virtue, or figuratively prosperity. Justice, moderate, righteous. So it is actually righteousness. And it uses the word rectitude, and rectitude, I believe, gives a nice understanding of what it is. Rectitude. The meaning of rectitude is, rectitude refers to the quality of being honest, morally correct, and honorable. So Abraham instructed his children to be honest, morally correct, and honorable. It signifies uprightness of character and strict adherence to ethical or moral principles. And this strict adherence to ethical or moral principles is going to be strict adherence to the Most High's Torah, to the Most High's instructions. So key aspects of rectitude: moral integrity, doing the right thing even when no one is looking, and displaying virtues like honesty and righteousness. So this is what it means to do justice. just so that the Most High's justice can show. The Most High's justice is obedience to his commandments, which gets us to do all of these things that we see here as the meaning of rectitude. Correctness. It can also mean being correct in judgment, procedure, or method. Being correct in judgment, procedure, or method. This is being straight, doing the right thing. The word originates from the Latin rectus, meaning right or straight. It shares a root with the word rectify, to make right. Synonyms: integrity, virtue, uprightness, righteousness. So we get an understanding of what justice means. The justice of I am. It is to do that which is right in the sight of the Most High, in the eyes of him, according to his word and according to the instructions of his Son. Now, here is why many people are possessed with demons, so that the justice of the Most High might be evident. So that the justice of the Most High may appear. Let's go to the fact that the devils have power over us, the demons have power over us as long as we are in sin. As long as we are in sin, that is their opportunity. And people, I'm not just speaking with this, I'm not just speaking because of theory, I am speaking because of experience and what dreams the Most High has shown me that I could not understand until I came to this understanding. I would see myself in the dream doing certain things that I know were wrong, and then right there waiting for me were devils, demons. And whenever the dream showed me making a bad move, then there were demons attacking me. And I could not understand it. Now I get the understanding. The devils are given, and it might sound funny. It is like, I don't know how to explain it. They are given to afflict us so that we crave to do that which is right. But the problem with us today is that we do not know that which is happening. So we have sickness and we have this and we have things afflicting us. We don't know that this is a process that is taking place. Please listen to this teaching very carefully and be edified. So the devils have power over us as long as we are in sin. Genesis 4, verse 6 to 7. In the King James Version, and it says, "And I am said unto Cain, Why art thou wroth? And why is thy countenance fallen? If thou doest well, shall thou not be accepted? And if thou doest not well, sin lieth at the door. And unto thee shall be his desire, and thou shalt rule over him." So we went to the English Standard Version to get a more understandable version. ESV says, "I am said to Cain, Why are you angry, and why has your face fallen? If you do well, will you not be accepted?" So, if we do well, we are left alone. Okay? But if we don't do well, sin is crouching at the door. These are the devils. If we do well, then we are left alone. If we do not do well, sin is crouching at the door. The devils are there waiting. It says, its desire is for you, and you must rule over it. So if we do not rule over sin, then sin is crouching at our doors. The devils are there, and they will have their way with us if we do not do well. This is why it's important to walk outside of sin, walk in the Most High's righteousness. Deuteronomy 30, verse 19. I call heaven and earth to record this day. This is why I have a verse like this. Against you, that I have set before you life and death, blessing and cursing. Therefore choose life, that both you, thou and thy seed may live. So if we choose life, the Most High will clear the way for us. He will clear the way for us. If we don't choose life, then we will die. Then the devils will have charge over us. All right? So, in the time of Noah, the evil spirits, the sons of the watchers, dwell on the earth. Let's go to the book of Enoch, chapter 15, verses 1 to 10. We're going to see the evil spirits that were left on the earth. The book of Enoch. All right. Let me get this thing off. Come on. All right, let me go to verse 1 of Enoch chapter 15. No, I don't think I need verse 1. So you can read the rest of it from verses 1 to 7. In the book of Enoch, the watchers, the fallen angels, they came to Enoch to ask him to petition the Most High, because they came and they polluted themselves among men, and the Most High had banished them, and they were fearful of the Most High, and they came to Enoch to ask Enoch to petition the Most High for them. But the Most High now is telling Enoch what will happen to these evil spirits, because they had children with the sons of men, and these children were giants. These children were giants. And now the giants who were born from body and flesh will be called evil spirits on the earth, and on the earth will be their dwelling. And evil spirits came out from their flesh, because from above they were created. From the holy watchers was their origin and first foundation. Evil spirits they will be on earth, and spirits of the evil ones they will be called. And the dwelling of the spirits of heaven is heaven, but the dwelling of the spirits of the earth who were born on the earth is earth. And the spirits of the giants do wrong, are corrupt, attack, fight, break on the earth, and cause sorrow. And they eat no food, do not thirst, and are not observed. And are not observed. This is why the title is the hidden demons. They are not observed. Look at them. Their dwelling is on the earth. They do wrong. They are corrupt. They attack. They fight. They break on the earth, and they cause sorrow. They eat no food. They do not thirst. But guess what? They are not observed. We don't see them, and so we continue our lives, just going around and focusing on that which we can see, and do not focus on the hidden enemy. And the hidden enemy, we get protection against the hidden enemy when we are in righteousness. When we are in unrighteousness, we have no protection against them. That is why they are running so rampant on this earth. This is why when I came and I saw the state of our people here, it saddened me when I realized that demons, and I was telling them that this place is, demons have run amok. And of course, when the place descends into sin and more sin, the devils have more have more of an incursion than before because they are given permission. They work by permission, and we are the ones who give them permission by the choices we make and by the life that we live. And these spirits will rise against the sons of men and against the women because they came out of them during the days of slaughter and the destruction. Yeah? These spirits will rise against the sons of men and against the women. So they are not observed, which means they are hidden. But they are rising up against the sons of men and women. That means the sons of men and women cannot see them and know that they're actually arising out of them. That is why many times we're there fighting against each other. It's the devils that are doing it, and they are there laughing because we, only being able to see and observe what we see, we are not able to look in the spirit realm. We are looking at the carnal and say, he caused it, she caused it, he caused it. Oh, devils are behind the scenes that are manipulating all of these things. But we are responsible for keeping those devils in check. And the death of the giants, wherever the spirits have gone out from their body, their flesh will be destroyed before the judgment. Thus they will be destroyed until the day of the great consummation is accomplished upon the great age, upon the watchers and the impious one. Upon the watchers and the impious ones. So the destruction is coming for those who allow them, we're going to see further on, who allow them to control our lives. We are responsible for taking everything under control. So let's go to the book of Jubilees, because we live in a day. Guess what's happening here? Where is it? Guess what's happening? Let's go to the book of Yabelim. Guess what's happening? In the book of Noah, unclean demons began to lead the sons of Noah astray. What did the Messiah say in the scriptures? As in the days of Noah, so shall it be in the end. This is why there is such a rise of demonic activity in this world today. Because we are in the time of the end, we are in the days of Noah. As in the days of Noah. And let's see what happened in the days of Noah. Jubilees chapter 10, let's begin at verse 1. And in the third week of this Jubilee, the unclean demons began to lead the children of the sons of Noah and to make to err and destroy them. And the sons of Noah came to Noah their father, and they told him concerning the demons which were leading astray and blinding and slaying his sons' sons. So, unclean demons began to lead away the children of the sons of Noah. That's what is happening today, my people. And look what it does. To make to err. You see? To make to err. So they bring us to error. And to destroy them. This thing. Yeah. And to destroy them. To make to err and to destroy them. So the destruction comes through sicknesses. And they make us to err, for example, as believers, to give us what? False doctrines. Erroneous doctrines. And to make us err. And then it says, leading astray. So they lead us astray out of the way. So we say we are followers of the way, but the devils will make us to err out of the way and to go out of the path. And they also blind us so we cannot see. And this I was speaking with my sister yesterday, and she was telling me about someone something of a comment by someone, and I was telling her that this is a night of ignorance that is upon the earth, and that this is actually what the teaching is about today. This is why people today on the internet, when you see them, they talk all sorts of foolishness, and people who you know and grew up with who had certain values, you will hear them now saying the opposite. Because people I know grew up with, I was shocked back in the day. People I know who grew up with and we spoke about homosexuality was evil and everything. And then I see these people commenting on it. Leave the people alone. Everybody has a right to whatever, whatever. And it is, you will see people just out of character and you'll wonder, what happened to them? Were they like this? No, it's the demons, the devils that are leading them astray. Why? Because most of them do not seek out righteousness. They do not seek out the Most High's justice and judgment. Without the Most High's justice and judgment, because there's a balance with the justice and the judgment. The justice is over here, you do right. And over there is what? There are the devils. So if you do right, you run away the devils. The devils are cast out automatically. You don't have to do anyone to come and cast out the devils. They will flee from you when they see righteousness comes in. But if there's no righteousness, then they have all free will to come and to lead you astray. This is why the world is such one big mess. And slaying his sons through wars, altercations, quarrels, sickness, all sorts of things. And he prayed before I am who I am, his sovereign ruler, and said, I am who I am of the Ruach of all flesh, who have shown mercy unto me, and have saved me and my sons from the waters of the flood, and have not caused me to perish as you did the sons of perdition. For your free unmerited pardon has been great towards me, and great has been your mercy to my soul. Let your free unmerited pardon be lifted up upon my sons, and let not wicked spirits rule over them, lest they should destroy them from the earth. And do you, barak me, bless me and my sons, that we may increase and multiply and replenish the earth. And you know how your watchers, the fathers of these spirits, acted in my day. And as for these spirits which are living, imprison them and hold them fast in the place of condemnation, and let them not bring destruction on the sons of your servant, my sovereign ruler, for these are malignant and created in order to destroy. So they were created by whom? By the Most High, in order to destroy. Yeah? In order to destroy. Well, it was not created by the Most High. It was a wicked act by the watchers to go into the woman. So I wouldn't say the Most High did that. But they were created in order to destroy. And let them not rule over the spirits of the living, for you alone can exercise dominion over them. So the Most High alone has dominion, power over them. And of course, he gives us the power to cast them out. And let them not have power over the sons of the righteous from henceforth and forevermore. And I am who I am, our sovereign ruler, bade us to bind all. So first of all, the Most High says, all right, bind all of them, according to the prayer of Noah. You see how powerful the prayer of a man is? The Most High says, okay, bind them all, because the Most High is just waiting to hear someone petition him. Yeah. And the chief of the Ruachot, the chief of the spirits, Mastema, came and said, I am who I am, Creator. Let some of them remain before me, and let them listen to my voice, and do all that I shall say unto them. For if some of them are not left to me, I shall not be able to execute the power of my will on the sons of men. For these are for corruption and leading astray before my judgment, for great is the wickedness of the sons of men. So the chief one came and said, Father, Most High, hear this now. if you take all of them away, I will not be able to execute my will, because the sons of men are so wicked. Yes? Because I need them to lead men astray before the time of my judgment. So we see that Hasatan, his job is to lead us astray before his judgment. That's what his task is upon this earth. That is why the Most High shows no animosity to him, because he serves a purpose. He serves a purpose of giving us the opportunity to choose right and wrong, to choose good and evil. Okay? So that's the purpose that he serves. So what is the Most High going to say to this evil Mastema? And he said, let the 10th part of them remain before him, and let 9 parts descend into the place of condemnation. Yeah? So the Most High said, all right, I'm not going to take away all of them. I'm going to take away 9 parts. But I'm going to leave 1 out of 10 parts, because we need the evil spirits on the earth in order to give men the opportunity to choose right from wrong. Many of our people would be going if we understand these things, we'd be not even attempting to do evil, because we do evil because we think that there are really no repercussion. Because we might not be seeing things in the natural realm. Things happening in the spiritual realm, and we're not seeing it in the spiritual realm. So we think that everything is okay. Yeah? But if we were seeing in the spiritual realm, we would know that when we sin, we actually give the demons permission to attack. This is a system that there is. Do wrong, the devils are given charge. You do right, the devils move away. Simple, simple, simple. And one of us, he commanded that we should teach Noah all their medicines, for he knew that they would not walk in uprightness nor strive in righteousness. So the Most High's mercy is that some of them, I will give Noah's sons medicines, because they will not walk in righteousness. He knows that mankind will not walk in righteousness, so he gives medicines. So this shows that the devils afflict us with what? Sickness. Because the wages of sin is death. I always tell people that Romans 6:23 says the wages of sin is death. If we sin, we are led to death. But how are we led to death? Through sickness. Yeah? And how are we given this sickness? Through the devils. You see it? So we sin, the devils have permission, the devils afflict us with sickness, we are led to death. Very simple. That's the work of the devil's injustice. So we, knowing this, have to seek out what? Pure righteousness. Knowing that only pure righteousness will keep all of these evil away. Let me continue. And we did according to all his words. All the malignant evil ones we've bound in the place of condemnation, and the 10th part of them we left, that they might be subject before Satan on the earth. So only 1/10 of them are here. And we explained to Noah all the medicines of their diseases, together with their seductions, how he might heal them with herbs of the earth. And Noah wrote down all things in a book, as we instructed him concerning every medicine. Thus the evil spirits were precluded from hurting the sons of Noah. And he gave all that he had written to Shem, his eldest son, for he loved him exceedingly above all his sons. So diseases or sicknesses is what they inflict on us. Noah was given the cures so that the evil spirit will not have power over them. So the Most High did 2 things. He took away most of them, and he also gave the cures for them. And remember, as in the days of Noah, so shall it be in the end. This is how it is today. And this is why we have to listen to the herbal doctors. These people, different pieces of these cures are passed down from generation to generation. All right? Here in Jamaica, you have a Rastaman. He even sells CDs. You can go, even in the marketplace, you see cars there full of herbs, and they'll tell you this herb is for this herb is for that. And you'll hear the thing playing in the background, and he'll tell you, you take bay leaf and you put 1 drop of cinnamon, and you put this and that and that and that for this cure, for this, for this, for that. They will tell you that these are the people who have this knowledge. Yeah? All right. So, as we said, if you go into sin, then the devils have you. Let's look at the power of obedience in overcoming the devils. Deuteronomy 30, 11 to 20. Deuteronomy 30, 11 to 20. For this commandment which I command thee this day, it is not hidden from thee, neither is it far off. You see, when we get an understanding of this, then we get an appreciation for the Most High's commandments. It is the commandments that protect us from this. The commandments protect us from these devils. For this commandment which I command thee this day, it is not hidden from thee, neither is it far off. It is not in heaven, that thou shouldest say, who shall go up for us to heaven, and bring it unto us, that we may hear it and do it? Neither is it beyond the sea, that thou shouldest say, who shall go over the sea for us, and bring it unto us, that we may hear it and do it? But the word is very nigh unto thee, in thy mouth and in thy heart, that thou mayest do it. That thou mayest do it. See, I have set before thee this day life and good, and death and evil. In that I command thee this day to love I am who I am, thy Elohim, to walk in his ways, and to keep his commandments and his statutes and his judgments, that thou mayest live and multiply. And I am who I am, thy Elohim, shall barak thee in the land whither thou goest to possess it. So here is the thing. He has put before us today life and good, and death and evil. This is a choice. This is the choice that comes with the challenge of these devils. Choice. And the choice is to love the Most High and to walk in his way, to keep his commandments and his statutes and his judgments, that thou mayest live and multiply, that you will not have sickness, that the demons will not have charge over you to bring you to sickness, which leads you to death. And I am who I am shall barak thee in the land where thou goest to possess it. But, there's that but. Let me see that. But, that's the scratch. If thine heart turn away, so that thou wilt not hear, but shalt be drawn away and worship other gods and serve them, I denounce unto you this day that ye shall surely perish. Why shall you perish? Because the devils will have charge over you. And that ye shall not prolong your days upon the land, because the devils will afflict you with sickness, whither thou passest over Jordan to possess it. I call heaven and earth to record this day against you, that I have set before you life and death, blessing and cursing. Therefore choose life, that both you, thou and thy seed may live. So we can either be blessed, or we can either be cursed. We can either get life, or we can either get death. That thou mayest love I am who I am, thy Elohim, and that thou mayest obey his voice, and that thou mayest cleave unto him, for he is thy life and the length of thy days, that thou mayest dwell in the land which I am who I am swear unto thy fathers, to Abraham, to Isaac, and to Jacob, to give them. So, obeying his voice, that thou mayest cleave unto him. So there's no way we can cleave unto the Most High without obeying his voice. Because if we disobey, then we are in the land of the devils. We are in the realm of the devils who will destroy us. All right? So the Most High is our life and he is our length of days. So on the one hand, we have the Most High to give us length of days. On the other, we have Satan and his devils and his demons to restrict our days by bringing us to sickness, by bringing us to death. That thou mayest dwell in the land. So there is no, let me tell you something, people. We cannot enter Zion if these devils have charge over us. If these devils have charge over us, in which they have charge over most people today, we cannot dwell in the land. We have to get the victory over them. Because remember, we have everything going against us. You see, we are put on this earth. We are put on this earth with a whole lot of challenges, a whole lot of negatives that are against us. Let me change this thing here. Let me just take it off. Yeah, there are a lot of things that are against us in this world. When we come into this world, we come into a wicked world. Yeah? World given into the hand of the wicked and all of those things, as we're going to look now. And so we have an uphill battle to fight. But the Most High gave us his word. Yeah? And this reminds me of the Book of Rules by the Heptones. Clown rag capers and sawdust rings. And we are given, each is given a bag of tools, shapeless mass, and the Book of Rules. This is this song right here. We come and we have a whole lot of things against us, and the Most High says, here is the Book of Rules. And he gave us this body. And he says, follow these rules and you'll overcome this. Follow these rules and you overcome. If you don't follow, the devils are all around. And this is what we cannot see. Even when I go on the street to minister, there are some people that just relate this. They're talking about logics. They just relate to things that they can see. That is how we are as human beings. We can see. That is why, as believers, we have to have spiritual eyes. We have to be able to see beyond the natural. That is when you know you're getting somewhere, when you can see beyond the natural. If you only can relate to things which you see, well, as we say in Jamaica, dog nyam your supper, which means that the dog will eat your supper, which means that you are in a bad place. You know, you will have nothing good going for you. You have to be able to look in the spiritual. So, let me get back to it. So the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. Job 9:24. He covereth the faces of the judges thereof, if not where and who is he. So the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. And he says he covereth the faces of the judges, which is blindness, which is what you spoke about earlier, that the devils were there in the book of Noah, that they were there blinding the sons of Noah to bring them to destruction. So this is what it is speaking about. It is the devils that are given the power to blind us. And in blinding us, that is where we are in trouble. Read Job 9:24 again. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covereth the faces of the judges, blinding them through these demons. And by the way, these are the demons that are worshipped as gods. Can you imagine? So if our worship is false, these are the devils that we are giving worship. Psalm 96 verse 5. For all the Elohim of the nations are idols, but I am made the heavens. These are the gods of the nations. They are idols. And that is why when the nations give you a religion such as Christianity and they give you a God with certain attributes that were not the attributes of the Most High, then you have to wake up. 1 Corinthians 10:20, but I say that the things which the Gentiles sacrifice, they sacrifice to devils and not to Allure. And I would not that you should have fellowship with devils. So this is Apostle Shaul that was speaking here. The things that they sacrifice to devils. That means their holidays and their Easters, their Lents, their Christmases, all of these things are were sacrifices to devils and not to the Most High. We should not partake of this or these things with them. But the Most High will not share in us partaking of these devils. Let's continue in 1 Corinthians 10:21. It says, you cannot drink the cup of I am and the cup of devils. You cannot partake of I am's table and of the table of devils. So we cannot have 1 foot over there and 1 foot over there. That is why we tell people, even with the name Jesus Christ, that's the name of what that they gave us, yeah, which was not the original name. It's an obvious thing. We shy away from that and we do not call him that because we cannot partake of the Most High's table and of the table of devils. All right? 1 Corinthians 10:22. Do we provoke I am to jealousy? Are we stronger than he? Which means that if we do so, the Most High will be jealous and we do not want to provoke him to jealousy. Which is why in the end there's an ultimatum. So we are given a chance, a time to turn away and to turn away from the worship of these devils, of these gods. Revelation 14:9 says, and the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast and his image and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand. So from the very beginning to the very end, Hasatan will be trying to get people to worship his gods. And then there will be a man coming in the end called the beast, who most of mankind will worship, because it says only those whose names are written in the book of life will not worship him. And then in the book of Revelations, chapter 2 or 3, I don't remember, it tells you that only a few people names will be written in the book of life. Indirectly, it tells us that. Revelation 14:10, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of Allure, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation, and he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb. And the smoke of their torment ascended up forever and ever, and they have no rest day nor night who worship the beast and his image, and whosoever receiveth the mark of his name. So to the very end, there is going to be a persistent worship that is going to damn many people. A reminder of our weekly morning program, Wake Up and Live, Mondays to Thursdays, 8 a.m. to 10 to 10:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on Jaw Radio. I am your host. Yeah. It is a nice program. It's called Wake Up and Live, Music and the Word. Music and the Word. All right, so let's look at Babylon and its devils. Babylon and its devils. Let me check this thing here. In the book of Revelation, it tells us about Babylon and its devils. These are things that we ignore. We see it, we have read it. Many of us, we have read Revelation 18 so many times. It's right there before us. but we ignore it. Revelation 18:1. And after these things I saw another angel come down from heaven, having great power, and the earth was lightened with his splendor. And he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon the Great is fallen, and is become the habitation of devils, the habitation or the dwelling place of demons, and the hold of every foul spirit, and the cage of every unclean and hateful bird, one big spiritual quagmire of mess, evil, cesspool. That is what Babylon is become. Evil spirits abound in Babylon. But we're going to look at something very interesting today. How are Babylon's devils strengthened? We're looking at the danger of living in excess. I'm going to tell you a strange thing. These devils are empowered. So you know the Most High says, He creates the wicked for the day of evil. That's in the book of Proverbs, is it? He created the wicked for the day of evil. In the book of Isaiah, he said, I create good and I create evil. These evil spirits, they are there. They are empowered by our cravings, by our lusts, by our not taking things in moderation. Let me go to Luke 21:34-36. And take heed to yourselves, lest at any time your hearts be overcharged with surfeiting and drunkenness and cares of this life, and so that they come upon you unawares. You've got to look at the meaning of surfeiting. This word is in the Bible only once. For as a snare shall it come on all them that dwell on the face of the whole earth. Watch ye therefore, and pray always, that ye may be accounted worthy to escape all these things that shall come to pass, and to stand before the Son of Man. So right away, it's telling you that surfeiting, drunkenness, and cares of this life has a recompense of letting us fall to the snare that will come upon all the earth. And in verse 36, it's telling us that we must be vigilant and pray always, so that we may be able to escape all these things. And how do we escape it? We cannot be overcharged with surfeiting, drunkenness, and cares of this life. These things give the devil's power over us. When we are involved with the cares of this life and busy going about caring about this and this of this life, the devils are permission to afflict us. When we're caught up in the drunkenness and going about in this Babylonian system and being a part of this system and everything, the devils have charge over us. When we're caught up in surfeiting, what does surfeiting mean? Surfeiting means, from the same as GSM 26, probably a headache as a seizure of pain from drunkenness. That is by implication a debauch. By analogy, a glut. A glut we know comes from gluttony. We get gluttony from it. Gluttony is greed, craven. And we have a song, Wailing Souls have a song. Brother Grabalicious, I say you too damn craven. Yeah, this is it. Jamaica have a song, they call it Grabalicious, which comes from avaricious. Yeah, that's the gluttony. It says a debauch. What is debauch? An act or occasion of extreme indulgence in bodily pleasure, an act of debauchery. Extreme indulgence. Extreme indulgence. So wherever there is extreme indulgence, the devils have power over us. That's why it is hard for the rich man to enter into the kingdom. Indulgence. If we as believers today are there seeking indulgence, seeking out luxuries, seeking out things that we don't even need, just piling on things, and we hear from our brothers and sisters in the United States of the life that they live. People leave Jamaica to migrate to the United States just to go and pile up stuff that they don't need. You know, honestly, that's it. You migrate to the United States, and it might sound funny, but honestly, looking at it spiritually, it's because of covetousness. We go and we see what can be achieved, and we say, you know what? And we are here in Jamaica. Yes, life is hard, and we might be struggling, but we are living. But we are not satisfied. And so we go with our debaucherous self, going to partake in the debauchery of the United States as well. So this gives the devils access to us. We're going to see it a little later. So if we are not in right standing with the Most High, then the devils are there lurking, just waiting, and say, just waiting. And when we are here, they're just waiting for us to make an error, for them to get permission to step in. So Babylon now, the habitation of devils, the hold of every false spirit, and the cage of every unclean and hateful bird. That is because of Babylon. This is because of Babylon's lack of moderation. And it says it in Revelation 18. Let's look at it. Revelation 18, verses 3 to 11. We just did verse 2. Let's do verses 3 to 11. What did I say? Revelation 18. So we just read. Let us read 2 again. And he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon the Great is fallen, and is become the habitation of devils, and the hold of every foul spirit, and the cage of every unclean and hateful bird. For all nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of her fornication, and the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her, and the merchants of the earth are waxed rich through the abundance of her delicacies. This is it here. Lack of mitigation, lack of self-control. Yeah? Waxed rich through the abundance of her delicacies. That is why the demons are there. Anywhere this is anywhere richness is, the demons are there. Why do you think all of these rich people in this world, rich men in this world, are giving all this trouble upon this earth? Why do you think so? Anywhere there's overindulgence. And it says, drunk of the wine of the wrath of her fornication is idolatry, worshipping their gods and worshipping materialism, worshipping vanity. That makes the demons amplified in Babylon. And I heard another voice from heaven saying, Come out of her, my people, that ye be not partakers of her sins, and that ye receive not of her plagues. So the call is to come out of her, come out of Babylon, come out of this drunkenness, this surfeiting. And I can tell you that another thing that I got to understand about this evil system is how they use us wanting in order to corrupt us. When Hurricane Melissa hit Jamaica, after that, everybody started to focus on money because money got so scarce. Inflation rose up. Everything got so scarce. Because when I came back, I was alarmed at the price of the goods compared to the value of the money, compared to the earning power of the people. And I'm like, man, this looks so strange to me. The money that could buy a whole lot today is what can buy basic. That what could buy a whole lot yesterday is what can buy basic today. So the what they did, and many people believe that this hurricane is engineered, whether or not, but they seized the opportunity by making things scarce, and now the people have become so vain, the people have become so desperate for money and so heavily driven, the people have become corrupted. Yes? Young men corrupted, almost all of them scamming. I have never seen anything like this before in my life. Yesterday I was walking on the road, on the back road. And when I look, I saw two young men walking, and then I walked to overtake them. When I overtook them, I heard one of them on the phone. Scamming. And I heard him say, hold on, you have to be, you just must see the little young boys. They look ordinary, high school boys, young. They're about what, 14 years old, 13, I don't know. Okay, hold on. Let me look into my system and see what I got. And then he come back and get back, okay, and went on speaking. So while I was there walking, I was saying to myself, what a society. Anyway, so everybody's there craving money. And because of that, the people get corrupted. This is why the demons are so empowered here. When we went to South Africa, that is one thing that we saw as well. Demonic forces, powerful demonic forces in South Africa. It's the same thing they do with the people there. The unemployment rate among the young men is like 50%. The people, they don't have any work. Everyone is desperate, so everybody does evil things for money. Not everybody, well. A lot of people, sometimes I use the fallacy of generalization. Yeah. A lot of people, they will do for money. They tell you, don't go there, don't go there, don't go there alone, because the devils are empowered whenever we seek the cares of life, get caught up in the drunkenness, and get caught up in surfeiting. Surfeiting is like the young boys who their parents provide for them, but yet still they get covetous and they see people with things, they want things, so guess what? They go into scamming to try to make money. And so you see some young boys with some wealth, you don't know where they got it from. That is, that is a spin-off from this thing. So Babylon's lack of moderation, that is what causes the devils to be heightened in Babylon. To be empowered, so empowered. For her, verse 5, for her sins have reached unto heaven, and the Most High hath remembered her iniquities. Reward her even as she rewarded you, and double unto her double according to her works. In the cup which she hath filled, fill to her double. Now here again, we're going to see why Babylon is how she is. How much she hath glorified herself and lived deliciously, you see? If we don't have moderation, the devils are going to have charge over us. This is why Babylon was like this, fit and ripe to be destroyed and become the habitation of devils, because of how she lived materialistically. Materialism is directly related to the work of devils. You have to have self-control. Without self-control, without temperance, which is one of the fruit of the Ruach, the devils are going to get us. How much she hath glorified herself and lived deliciously. So much torment and sorrow give her. For she said in her heart, I sit a queen and am no widow, and shall see no sorrow. Therefore shall her plagues come in one day, death and mourning and famine, and she shall be utterly burned with fire. For strong is I am, who judged her. And the kings of the earth who have committed fornication and lived deliciously with her shall bewail her and lament for her when they shall see the smoke of her burning, standing afar off for the fear of her torment, saying, Alas, alas, that great city Babylon, that mighty city, for in 1 hour is thy judgment come. And the merchants of the earth shall weep and mourn over her, for no man buyeth their merchandise anymore. There we go. This buying and selling. This buying and selling. And there is in book of Sirach, chapter 7, verse 2, it says, let me start from 1. Many have sinned for a small matter, and he that seeketh for abundance will turn his eyes away. He that seeketh for abundance, you're going straight into sin because you are going to ignore righteousness. You're not going to be able to do justice because when you see what is wrong that goes against you, you're going to turn your eyes away. As a nail sticketh fast between the joinings of the stones, so doth sin stick close between buying and selling. So doth sin stick close between buying and selling. So buying and selling, sin is right there, waiting, lurking. Very, very close to buying and selling. Yeah? Did we do verse 11 of, where were we? Tip. Where were we again? We were at Revelation. Revelation 18:11. Yeah. And the merchants of the earth shall weep and mourn for her, for no man buyeth their merchandise anymore. Yes, we did that. So the Most High is not pleased with our lusts. He is not pleased with us desiring, going after the desires of our hearts, the lusts of our heart. Psalm 78:17. And they sinned yet more against him by provoking the Most High in the wilderness. And they tempted a lure in their heart by asking meat for their lust. So they tempted him in their heart. So our lust does not have to be expressed. Our lust can be our desire. You just have the desire. And then the Most High knows the thoughts and the intents of our hearts. Right away there, we have sinned. Just from our hearts, because of our lust. Tempting the Most High because of our lust. You see, the Most High wants people who trust in him. He wants a people who believe in him and trust in him and depends on him for all things. He does not want people who go after the thoughts and the intents of their hearts. So their heart tells you, I need this, and you go greedily, because then you will be into self. And then we used to say, but nothing is wrong if we desire this. Nothing is wrong if we do this. Now we have another layer to it. We know that the devils will have charge over us as long as we are in the desire for these things. This is why at this time we don't even show affluence at this time, because that is what the devils want. Yeah? The devils want us to go into excess. When we go into excess, that is when they say yes. And they step in. I'm going to look at this some more. But the Most High does not want us to go into excess. But guess what? He will give us our lusts if we continue in our desires. He will give us our lusts. This thing here, what is this thing doing here? Yeah. Psalms 81, 11 to 12. Psalms 81, 11 to 12. But my people would not hearken to my voice. and Yasharal would none of me. So I gave them up unto their own heart's lust, and they walk in their own counsels. So if we do not want to take heed to him, he is going to give us up to our own heart's lust, which means another thing about this own heart's lust. He's going to give us what we want, but he's also going to make what we want appear to be his blessings. We have to look at that as well. If he sees that we are going after our own desires, we will be getting them and saying, oh, the Most High has blessed me, he has blessed me. Because he knows that that is what you want. We must never, ever go for what we want. We must go for what is the will of the Most High. We must ask him, what is your will? What do you want for me? What should I desire? What? We have to ask him. The mistake that we make is that most of us go after our desires and then ask him to be coming with us. Help me to do this, Father. Help me to do this. Did you ask in the first place if that is what he wants you to do? This has been my experience. So at every step along the way, I have to be checking to make sure that this is his desire for me. Too many times I've gotten spanked for going after my own way and not seeking what is his desire for me. All right. And then we go to Midbar, Numbers 11, 18 to 20 and 31 to 34. Numbers 11, 18. And say thou unto the people, sanctify yourselves against tomorrow, and ye shall eat flesh. For ye have wept in the ears of I am who I am, saying, who shall give us flesh to eat? For it was well with us in Egypt. Therefore I am will give you flesh, and ye shall eat. This was when the children of Yasharal were complaining in the wilderness to Moses, give us flesh. We want meat. More meat. More meat. More food. Meat. Then the Most High went on to say, ye shall not eat 1 day, nor 2 days, nor 5 days, neither 10 days, nor 20 days, but even a whole month, until it come out of at your nostrils, and it be loathsome unto you, because that ye have despised I am who I am, which is among you, and have wept before him, saying, why came we forth out of Egypt? So he's saying, you see, and this is why I tell you, that when we are going after the desires of our own hearts, it can appear as if it is the blessing of the Most High. He says, ye shall not eat 1 day, nor 2 days, nor 5 days, neither 10 days, nor 20 days, but even a whole month. We have to look at our desires, people, and check our desires. Desires and lusts. We have to check them, or else we might be getting them. We might be getting our afflictions and not knowing them. And the Most High will give them to us, knowing that when we get them, the devils will have their way with us and ravage us. Because we are determined to have our own way. He says, okay, you want your own way? Okay, I'll give you your own way. Whatever you want, the Most High gives you. Anything that you want. Anything you want, you can get. Anything you want, you can get it from the Most High. You see? Let's go to verse 31 to 34 now. When the quails came, what they wanted now, meat. And there went forth a wind from I am who I am, and brought quails from the sea, and let them fall by the camp, as it were a day's journey on this side, and as it were a day's journey on the other side, round about the camp, and as it were 2 cubits high upon the face of the earth. And the people stood up all that day and all that night, and all the next day, and they gathered the quails. He that gathered least gathered 10 homers, and they spread them all abroad for themselves round about the camp. And this is one of the verses we used to tell people that the day begins in the morning. They stood up all that day, and all that night, and all the next day. So the next day does not begin that night or before that night. The next day begins the next day. Anyway, let's continue. And while the flesh was yet between their teeth, ere it was chewed, The wrath of I am who I am was kindled against the people, and I am who I am smote the people with a very great plague. You see it? He gave them bountifully. But while they were eating, they received a plague. He says, I put before you today blessings and cursings. So our desires, our lusts can get us easily into trouble. We have to make sure that what we are doing is the will of the Most High and not our will. And he called the name of that place Kibroth Hatava, because there they buried the people that lusted. There they buried the people that lusted. What's this? Let me get this thing here. This Hazaroth. You see something here. Oh. All right. Just looking at the meaning of that. A reminder of our morning program, Wake Up and Live, on Jaw Radio at jawradio.org. Jawradio.org with yours truly, Kareb Kabod, DJ, presenter, whatever you want to call it. It's music and the word to wake you up out of your bed, to keep you on the day, to give you a word for the day. Yeah. So we have to control our own lusts. Because of that, we have to control our own lusts. How do we do that? Galatians 5:16 gives us the answer. This I say then, walk in the Ruach, and you shall not fulfill the lust of the flesh. Let me tell you something, people. We have too many people, we are walking in the flesh. We have to walk in the Spirit. Walking in the Spirit is a whole different world. It's like you are here, but you are looking at everything spiritual. That's one aspect of it. I'm just giving you an aspect of it. You are looking at everything spiritually. So sometimes when I go out, for example, I remember I just get an example of one person that I got in a dream. And when I got the understanding of the dream, whenever I go and see the person on the road, whatever that person is doing at the time speaks to me spiritually, according to the initial thing that was revealed through that person in the dream. So I'm looking at the natural, but I'm seeing it in the spiritual. And then I'm getting understanding of the Most High speaking to me just by the actions that person is doing, because he gave that person to guide me and said, this is your example when you're on the street ministering. So when I'm falling short, certain things I will see the man do, and I say, I understand. It is really, really weird, but we have to just be walking and looking at everything in the spiritual, not in the natural. So this I say then, walk in the Spirit and you will not fulfill the lust of the flesh. There we go. That's the lust. That's the lust that gets the devils active, that gets them supercharged, that gives them permission over us. When we walk in the Spirit, then that lust of the flesh will not be there, so the devils will not have charge over us. When we are walking in the Spirit, then we are walking in the justice of the Most High. Remember, initially, at the beginning, we said that many people in this world are filled with demons because, what? Just so that the justice of the Most High will be shown. The justice of the Most High. So this justice is shown up when we walk in justice, and the devils will not have any charge over us. Verse 17 says, for the flesh lusteth against the Ruach, and the Ruach against the flesh. And these are contrary the one to the other, so that you cannot do the things that you would. So this is a competition here The devils, they work through our flesh and our fleshly carnal desires. When we have fleshly carnal desires, that's when they step in. When we are walking spiritually, then it's contrary to that, and that will have no power. Our flesh will have no power over us. The devils and their desires will have no power over us at all. So we must overcome temptation to overcome our lust, by the way. We are going to be tempted, but we have to overcome them. As long as we don't overcome them, the devils have charge over us. And they will have what will we have hovering over us? Being led astray. Being blinded. Sickness. Death. All of those things are awaiting us. And then there's something at the end. We're going to leave this to the end. Ominous, that is hovering over us when we don't have charge over our lusts, our desires. When we don't do things in moderation. Moderation is the order of the day. Everything that we do, people, must be in moderation. If you stuff yourself with food, the devils are there waiting. A simple thing as that. And that is why Shaul says, and be not drunk with wine wherein is excess, but be filled with the Ruach. We must not have anything in excess. Moderation is the key. We must overcome temptation to overcome our lusts. James 1:12. Blessed or Barak is the man that endureth temptation. For when he is tried, he shall receive the crown of life, which I am hath promised to them that love him. So, those who love the Most High will overcome the temptations that come upon them. Let no man say when he is tempted, I am tempted of Alua, for Alua cannot be tempted with evil, neither tempteth he any man. But every man is tempted when he is drawn away of his own lust and enticed. So we are tempted when we are lusting. When we are lusting, then the temptation is, what do you do? Right or wrong? Good or evil? Then when lust hath conceived, it bringeth forth sin, and sin, when it is finished, bringeth forth death. This is the process here of the devils, that the devils work. First, you are tempted. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. They send out all manner of temptations upon us. We, with our wicked heart, the heart of man is desperately wicked, who can know it? Then all of those things come in. Then temptation comes in to do this or to do that. Then lust comes up. First, lust comes up. Sorry, I should have did the lust first. Lust comes up first because of the wicked nature in us and because of our wickedness abounds, yeah? Then there is temptation. Now what do I do? That is the decision-making process now. That is the process. Do I eat this? Do I buy this? Do I take this? Do I steal this? Do I? Then when we decide on the matter, it brings sin. And sin, when it is finished, brings forth death, because when we sin, that is when we give occasion to the devils to bring us sickness and all sorts of things. Yeah? So, how do we escape? We escape by believing the promises and rejecting the loss. As believers, I'm talking about believers and those who are to come to the Most High. We have to now believe in the promises, because it is the promises that belong unto us. Can I get a Bible? Let me get a Bible. Here. Let me get a Bible. Yeah, the promises. Let's go to Acts 2. 37. Acts 2, 37. Now when they heard this, they were pricked in their heart and said unto Peter and to the rest of the apostles, men and brethren, what shall we do? This is about baptism. We are baptized because we are looking for the promises that belong to us. Then Peter said unto them, repent and be baptized, every one of you, in the name of Emmanuel the Messiah, for the remission of sins, and ye shall receive the gift of Ruach HaKadosh, the Holy Spirit. For the promise is unto you and to your children, and to all that are far off, even as many as I am who I am, or Elohim shall call. So promise is unto us. This is what we look forward to. Romans 9, the promise is what we look forward to. Verse 6, for I could wish that myself were occurred from a Mashiach for my brethren, kinsmen according to the flesh, are Israelites, to whom pertain adoption and the splendor and the covenants and the giving of the law and the service of I am and the promises. The promises. So what is this promise all about? We escape these devils by believing the promises and rejecting the loss. Because remember, we have loss because we are not set on the promises. We are not set on promises and believing the promises and waiting for the promises. We want what we have and we want now. Want it and I want it now. That's us. We want it now. But 2 Peter 13 to 1 to 4 says, the audio is skipping and breaking. Let me try to see if it is too loud here. Mic check 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 2, 1, 2, 2, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. All right, yes. Only hope that does it. But little, yeah. Right. For 2 Peter 1 verse 16. Tell me if it's still skipping. According as his divine power hath given unto us all things that pertain unto life and godliness, through the knowledge of him that called us to splendor and virtue, whereby I give unto us exceeding great and precious promises. It's an echo. Where is this thing coming from? Where is that thing coming from? Microphone check 1 2 still skipping. All right. I do not know what I could do with this one. Microphone check 1 2 1 2 2. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Audio is skipping. I'm trying to. Let me see. I change the thing. Mic 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 2. Microphone check. 1, 2, 2, 1, 2. All right, I don't know. I'm gonna try this other. See if it's skipping here. Mic. 1, 2, 3. 1, 1, 2. 1, 2, 3. Let me know if it is still having the skip issue. Trying to change the microphone. Let me know if you still hear it skipping. All right, somebody please let me know if it's still skipping with this one. This is a very important message today. There's a slight static sound. We don't know. It's still. It has nothing to do with all right, I'm gonna turn it off and then turn it back on and see what happens. One, two. 1, 2, 1, 2. 1, 2, 2, 2. 1, 2, 3. All right. Let me know if you're still hearing it because I tried to restart this thing. Let me know if you're still hearing it. Check. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Oh, it's good now. All right. So we escape by believing the promises and rejecting the loss. In 2 Peter 1, verse 3, it says, according as his divine power hath given unto us all things that pertain unto life and godliness, through the knowledge of him that had called us to splendor and virtue. All right, thank you very much for all those who notified me. Whereby are given unto us exceeding and precious promises. Exceeding and precious promises, that by these promises, ye might be partakers of the divine nature, having escaped the corruption that is in the world through lust. Look at that verse. That verse, 2 Peter 1, verse 4. Whereby are given unto us exceeding great and precious promises, that by these you might be partakers of his divine nature. So without the promises, we cannot be partakers of his divine nature, which means no kingdom for us. Now, to attain unto these promises and to be partakers of his divine nature, we must escape the corruption of the world that is in the world through lust. So the lust has to be overcome for us to partake of the promises and partake of his divine nature. So we escape by believing on the promises. And what does it mean by believing on the promises? It is our lives are now focused on that which is to come. We are no longer focused on this present world. Our lives are just focused on the time to come. It's about Zion. It's about this. We are in the world, but not of the world. We are in the world, and we just partake of the things of the world that we need to go through the world. Not for us to be enjoying this world. Yeah? That is how we overcome.
And that is why 1 John 2:15-17, one of our favorite sets of verses, is always relevant. It says, love not the world, neither the things that are in the world. If any man love the world, the love of the Father is not in him. So we are in the world, but we are not focused on loving the things that are in the world. We are focused on the promises of the great I am. And that is what we are focused on. The promises. Yeah? Yeah, the promises. For all that is in the world, the lust of the flesh and the lust of the eyes and the pride of life is not of the Father, but is of the world. So you see it? All that is in the world, the lust of the flesh, lust, the lust of the eyes, lust and the pride of life. It is not of the Father, it is of the world. So you're in the world, the lusts must not be what? Define us. Yeah? It is the promises. It is focused on the promises. And the world passeth away, and the lust thereof. But he that doeth the will of Allah abideth forever, which shows us that if we are doing the lusts, we cannot do the will of the Most High. Simple. The world passeth away and the lust thereof, but he that doeth the will of Allah abideth forever, which means if you are involved in this lust, then you cannot do the will of the Most High, and you cannot abide forever. You do not have everlasting life in you if you are a victim of the lust of this world. Nothing changes. Nothing has changed. It is giving up, giving up, giving up. So we're going to focus more now on these devils. Going to focus more on these devils. How much time is it? Yeah, good time. Mankind and the impact of demons. We're going to look in the book of, what's it? Nazarene book of the apostles. We're going to look to the reason. Kefa here. What is happening here? Why is it not showing? Okay. Why is it not showing? Now, Kefa is going to look at the history to show the devils. We're going to go down on the devils. And when it reaches to the end, you will get to understand more of the operation of devils, this invisible operation of devils in our lives today. Let's begin. When I am had made man after his own image and likeness, he grafted into his work a certain breathing and odor of his divine might, that so men, being made partakers of his only begotten, might through him be also Avarim and sons or Avarims of I am who I am, and sons of adoption. And this Avarim there means members of I am. So what he's saying that the Most High put a certain breathing and odor of his divine might in men. And this is the conscience of men that he put inside of all men. Yeah? So that men can partake of his divine might. Whence also he himself, as Emmanuel, knowing with what actions the Father is pleased, instructed them in what way they might obtain that privilege. So he himself, the Father himself, as Emmanuel, notice how he says it. He himself as Emmanuel, then it says, knowing with what actions the Father is pleased. Knowing with what actions the Father is pleased.
Yeah, mic check. Yeah, knowing with what actions the Father is pleased. So the Most High, as Emmanuel, knowing with what actions the Most High is pleased. So he says the Messiah, the Father as the Messiah, but yet still the Messiah knew with what action the Father is pleased, which goes and confirms what we've always been saying, that Messiah was the Most High in Emmanuel. And that is why it says in 1 Corinthians 5, to wit that I am who I am was in Emmanuel, reconciling the world unto himself. So even though the Father was in him, he himself, Emmanuel, is his own being, but it was just the Father in him. Very difficult to understand, but at that time, therefore, there was among men only one worship of I am, a pure mind and an uncorrupted spirit. And for this reason, every creature kept an inviolable covenant with the human race. So it's speaking about the days when men used to live for those ripe old 900 years, 800 years, 900 plus years. This was when men lived a very long time. For by reason of their reverence of the Creator, no sickness or bodily disorder or corruption of food had power over them. Whence it came to pass that a life of 1,000 years did not fall into the frailty of old age. So, because of their reverence of the Creator, there was no sickness or bodily disorder or corruption of food that had power over them. You see that? But now today, we have irreverence for the Creator. We have sickness, bodily disorder, corruption of food that has power over us today. Let me continue. But when men, leading a life void of distress, so because the Most High did not afflict men at that time, he's going to tell you now what happened when there is no affliction. Which is why the Most High's mercy is to get us, the Most High's mercy is to get us into some form of distress at times. That's why we have to have persecutions and we have to have trials and troubles and distress. We have to have these things in order to be able to live in right standing. Look at it. But when men, leading a life void of distress, began to think that the continuance of good things was granted them not by the divine bounty, but by the chance of things, and to accept as a debt of nature, not as a gift of the Most High's goodness, their enjoyment without any exertion of the delights of the divine complacence, men, being led by these things into contrary and disobedient thoughts, came at last, at the instigation of idleness, to think that the life of Elohim was theirs by nature, without any labors or merits on their part. What a long sentence, man. Couldn't you have made it smaller than that? Look how long it was. So men given a life that is void of distress, and were given a life of really comforts. They started to think that it is just a natural part of life for them to live. They did not see it as the Most High's goodness. They started to think, well, this is how life is, and whatever. They started to think that the life of Elohim was theirs by nature. So they didn't have to do anything good or anything right in order to achieve this. It was just theirs. Hence they go from bad to worse, to believe that neither is the world governed by the providence of I am, nor is there any place for virtues, since they knew that they themselves possessed the fullness of ease and delights without the assignments of any works previously, and without any labors were treated as the members of I am. So they got from bad to worse. Not accepting that the world is governed by the goodness of the Most High and His providence. Not thinking that, boy, I have to walk in rightness before Him for this to continue. So they went into a state of ease. And they believe that I don't have to do anything to be treated as a member of the Most High. By the most righteous judgment of I am, therefore, labors and afflictions are assigned as a remedy to men languishing in the vanity of such thoughts. So, when we think these things, the Most High gives us trials and troubles so that we never ever think that we can just live like this and the Most High will continue to, to barack us. And when labor and tribulations came upon them, they were excluded from the place of delights and amenity. Also, the earth began to produce nothing to them without labor, and then men's thoughts being turned in them, they were warned to seek the aid of their Creator, and by prayers and vows to ask for the divine protection. It is how men turn to the Most High. And people will ask you, why is it all the time that it is when people come upon hard life and stress and troubles that they claim to know the Most High? This is it right here. When we don't know Him, then we will think that everything happens by chance and this and that. But then He takes everything away from us and gives us the opportunity to turn to Him to get to know Him. And thus it came to pass that the worship of I am, which they had neglected by reason of their prosperity, they recovered through their adversity, and their thoughts towards the Most High, which indulgence had perverted, affliction corrected. Let me get it out. So, indulgence perverted it, but affliction corrected it. So therefore, I am who I am, seeing that this was far more profitable to man, remove from them the ways of benignity and abundance as being hurtful, and introduce the way of vexation and tribulation. So the way of abundance and benignity was hurtful, and he introduced the way of vexation and tribulation, which, though it perturbs the flesh, it stimulates the spirits and turns the spirits towards Him, our Maker. Let me get this thing online straightened. All right, let me get it straightened, yeah. Chapter 12, translation of Enoch. Then it went into Enoch now. But that he might show that these things were done on account of the ungrateful, he translated to immortality a certain one of the first race of men, because he saw that he was not unmindful of his favor, and because he hoped to call on the name of I am who I am, while the rest, who were so ungrateful that they could not be amended and corrected even by labors and tribulations, were condemned to a terrible death. This is Enoch in his days. Yet amongst them also he found a certain one, Noah, who was righteous with his house, whom he preserved, having enjoined him to build the Tiva, the ark, in which he and those who were commanded to go with him might escape, when all things should be destroyed by a deluge, in order that the immoral, being cut off by the overflow of waters, the world might receive a purification, and he who had been preserved for the continuance of the race, purified by water, might anew repair the world. So the world purified, and that's what's happening in the end. The world is going to be purified once again. But when all these things were done, men turned again to impiety, and on this account Torah was given by I am who I am to instruct them in the manner of living. So even after the destruction of the world, at the time after, men afterwards turned to idolatry. So the Most High had to give His Torah as the blueprint of righteousness. But in process of time, the worship of I am and righteousness were corrupted by the unbelieving and the immoral. corrupted by the unbelieving and the immoral, as we will show fully by and by. Moreover, perverse and erratic religions, this now is going to look at the contribution of religions to the prevalence of demons. Don't forget what we're talking about. The topic, the hidden demons, which cannot be seen, the hidden demons and the justice of the Most High. Moreover, perverse and erratic religions were introduced, to which the greater part of men gave themselves up by occasion of holidays. There we go. And this is why we tell you, and we spoke earlier about the holidays of Christianity. The holidays of, what they call it, Islam. The holidays of Hinduism and whatever ism and schisms of these religions. Holidays and solemnities instituting drinking and banquets, following pipes and flutes and harps and diverse kinds of musical instruments, and indulging themselves in all kinds of drunkenness and luxury. So these are the hallmarks of the worship of these devils. Erratic religions being introduced. Hence, every kind of error took rise. Every kind of error. As long as we go off target, then the devils are going to have their charge over us, and we are going to err. Hence, every error took rise. Hence, they invented groves and altars, flesh and victims, and after drunkenness, they were agitated as if with mad emotions. They were agitated as if with mad emotions. By this means, power was given to the demons to enter into minds of this sort. So power was given to the demons. We see we give power to the demons by our choices, so that they seem to lead insane dances and to rave like Bacchanalians. Bacchanalians were a sect that were in Rome that did all sorts of perverse things in their worship. At one point, I think they were persecuted because they were too corrupt in their worship. They had to be underground. Hence were invented the gnashing of teeth and bellowing from the depth of their bowels. So all of these things that come from false religion, I don't know, this bellowing from the depth of their bowels, something like that, I think it means. And the gnashing of teeth. A lot of the things that take place in religions, when they say it's the Holy Spirit or Holy Ghost causing it, these are things that are being described here. Yeah, like the Kundalini spirit. Hence a terrible countenance and a fierce aspect in men, so that he whom drunkenness had subverted and a demon had instigated was believed by the deceived and the erring to be filled with the deity. You see? So those who drunkenness had subverted and the demon had instigated were believed to be filled with the Holy Spirit. This is what happens to us. That's what happens that we see in Christianity. Yeah? The Bible tells us in Acts 5:30, I think, that the Most High gives the Ruach HaKadosh to those who obey Him. He gives the Holy Spirit to those who obey Him. And yet still, Christianity being a religion of disobedience that says the law is done away with, you don't have to follow any law or whatever. Disobedient religion is declaring that they are filled with the Holy Spirit. And we see some of the things that are described here as being part of their worship, etc. And you start to wonder. Let me get what Kepha says again. Hence a terrible countenance and a fierce aspect in men, so that he whom drunkenness had subverted and a demon had instigated was believed by the deceived and the erring to be filled with the deity. So those who err and those who are deceived. But Isaiah 8:20 says, to the law and to the testimony, if they speak not according to this word, it is because there is no light in them. So if they are not going according to the law and the testimony, if they are not going according to the law and the prophets, then something is wrong. They cannot be filled with the deity. Because he just, and these again, here's another thing for this Christian Holy Spirit again. Because we're not just claiming, we are doing according to Scripture. All right? We're going according to Scripture. We just read in 1 John 2:15-17, if any man love the world, the love of the Father is not in him. And most of the Christians love the world. It's about materialism. It's about go get this. It's about acquiring this. It's about school. It's about success. It's about this in this world. It's about partaking of this world. They love the world. If the love of the Father is not in them, if they love the world, how can they who love the world be filled with the Holy Spirit? I don't understand. But let me continue. Chapter 14. Hence, since so many false and erratic religions have been introduced into the world, we have been sent as good merchants, bringing unto you the true worship of the true I am who I am, handed down from the fathers and preserved as the seeds of which we scatter these words amongst you and place it in your choice to choose what seems to you to be right. This is our call right here, people. This is why I tell you that we were in South Africa and we were in training. This is the training to bring to the people the true worship of the Most High, handed down from the fathers and preserved. That is why we were taken in South Africa and we were taken into the wilderness of the people. We were taken, set apart, living like the people in the Bible, living like the people, being taken from place to place, just like the children of Yasharal. And I remember when we went to places, we would look at certain signs, and the signs would tell us the type of, the level of what the school would be about at this particular point in time. So, let me give an example. So one of the times we were at number 40 something. What's the name of the road? And we knew that it was time. It pointed us to, and it would give us scriptures as well. So when we went there, we would have been given scriptures. Sometimes we could have seen the number of the place if we were going into a house, the number of the place and the name of the street where it is from. Tells all the story. You see the story on the word, because my memory is not so good to bring it up quickly. You would see the name of the street and then you see the number, and then you would be guided as to, all right, this phase, this is what we're going to be going through. This is what we're going to be going through. So we went through it because, let me read it again. Hence, since so many false and erratic religions have been introduced into the world, we have been sent as good merchants, bringing unto you the worship of the true I am who I am, handed down from the fathers and preserved as the seeds which we scatter these words amongst you and place it in your choice to choose what seems to you to be right. And so that is why we say we are planting seeds. We are not here. We are not here to, we are reading from the book, the Nazarene Act of the Apostles, which you can download from our website. Go to our website and just put it in the search and the page will come up. You can download it from there. All right? It's not on the downloads page because we're having a problem getting it there, but the article is there. The download is there. Just go in the search, put in Nazarene Acts of the Apostles. All right? So, and those also are persons who were listening to us during that time. You were also being trained by going through the things that we were teaching throughout the time that we were there. All right. Where was I again? Yeah. For if you receive those things that we bring you, you will not only be able, yourselves to escape the incursions of the demon, but also to drive them away from others, and at the same time you will obtain the reward of ageless good things. Now, this is what the Most High has been showing me in dreams as well. The power to drive out these demons. So empowerment is coming, people. Great empowerment is coming. We have to seek out the way of the Most High. And we have to up our emanah, our faith, and our obedience to the Most High. He will empower us. And humility. But those who will refuse to receive those things that are spoken by us will be subject in the present life to diverse demons and disorders of sicknesses. And their spirits, after their departure from the body, will be tormented forever. Let me read it again. You see that dot in yellow there? Those who will refuse to receive those things that are spoken by us will be subject in the present life to diverse demons and disorders of sicknesses. And their spirits after their departure from the body will be tormented forever. This is why we get in sicknesses, people. Man, these dreams. Now, when I get this understanding on the dreams that I'm getting as all make sense. A lot of the sicknesses that we have, as I told you, I will dream that an error is being pointed out to me, and right after the error, what do I see? I see devils, me having to fight demons, me having to fight devils. This word is true. For I am who I am is not only good, but also just. I want you to listen to this carefully, because some people believe certain things. Listen to this very carefully. For I am who I am is not only good, but also just. For if he were always good and never just, to render to everyone according to his deeds, goodness would be found to be injustice. For it were injustice if the disobedient and the obedient were treated by him alike. Now, if everybody was getting the same outcome, for example, some people believe everybody will be saved. If those of us now who are striving dearly, and these devils and these demons are afflicting us, and we say, no, they're afflicting us, but guess what? The Most High is going to save me. That's unrighteousness on the part of the Most High. To know that I will be here battling to overcome, and another person will be there thinking, the Most High is going to deal with this for me. I don't care. They can't have any charge over me. And I'm sitting here and allowing them to have their way with me. And then that person is over there fighting and struggling, and both of us have the same outcome? For I am who I am is not only good, but also just. We have to understand the justice of the Most High. That is why the devils over one hand are given charge, and those who have justice of the Most High, the devils cannot touch them. That's the Most High's justice. But those who are in unrighteousness, in sin, etc., the Most High gives them over so the devils can have their way with them, so that they wake up and turn to the Most High so that they can escape from the devils. So it might sound bad, but it's his righteousness in the first place to chase you away from the devils, to give the devils every sign of charge over us when we do that which is wrong, so that we will strive at all times to do that which is right, so as to escape them. So they actually keep us right on the straight and narrow, if we understand that they are the ones that are afflicting us. For I am who I am is not only good but also just. For if he were always good and never just to render to everyone according to his deeds, goodness would be found to be injustice. Yeah. So if you don't receive what you do for what you do, and another person is doing, striving to do right, that's an injustice. So the Most High is not unjust. All right? It were injustice if the disobedient and the obedient were treated by him alike. So how does the demons get power over men? We're going more into this. Yeah. Therefore, demons, as we have just said, when once they have been able, by means of opportunities afforded them, to convey themselves through base and evil actions into the bodies of men. So when we have base and evil actions, the devils are giving this opportunity to enter into the bodies of men, to invade the bodies of men. If they remain in them a long time through their negligence, so it is up to us how long they remain in us. Because we can now start doing that which is right and drive them out of us, automatically they have to leave. That's how it works. Because they do not seek after what is profitable to their inner beings, they necessarily compel them for the future to fulfill the desires of the demons who dwell in them. So if we allow them to remain in us for a long time, we start to fulfill the desire of the demon. So the demon remains in us hidden, and us being disobedient, us continuing in our way blinded, then guess what happens? We start to fulfill the desires of the demons. The demons start to get us into error after error after error. People, this is not an easy road, is it? But what is worst of all, at the end of the age, when that demon will be consigned to ageless fire, of necessity the spirit also that obeyed him will with him be tortured in ageless fire, together with its body that it has polluted. Do you see this? So if we succumb to the devils, then when these devils are consigned to ageless fire, then it says we ourselves that obeyed this spirit will also be tortured with him, together with his body that it has polluted. And this, I think, where is this thingy here? Let me see what it, yeah. It's, where is this again? Revelation 19. I think Revelation 19. Revelation 19:20. Revelation 19:19. And I saw the beast and the kings of the earth and their armies gathered together to make war against him that sat on the horse and against his army. And the beast was taken, and with him the false prophet that wrought miracles before him, with which he deceived them that had received the mark of the beast and them that worshipped his image. These both were cast alive into a lake of fire, burning with brimstone. And the remnant were slain with the sword of him that sat upon his snow, and all the foes were, no man. We have a better call. I'm trying to find, this is not the one that I'm looking for. This is not the one that I'm looking for. There's another verse, or is it this? The remnant were slain. I don't know if this is this one. Not that one. Anyway, so let me continue. So those who were the victims of the spirits will go down with them. Let me see if I can get this on to the center here. Yeah. Know that the demons are desirous of occupying the bodies of men. This is the reason. They are spirits bearing their purpose turned to immorality. Therefore, by immoderate eating and drinking, here we go now about self-control, moderation. Gluttons. We have to control our consumption. They are spirits bearing their purpose turned to immorality. Therefore, by immoderate eating and drinking and lust, they urge men on to sin. But only those who entertain the purpose of sinning, who, while they seem simply desirous of satisfying the necessary cravings of nature, give opportunity to the demons to enter into them, because through excess they do not maintain moderation. This is what we said when we looked at Luke 21:34. Surfeiting, which is debauchery, which is gluttony, gives the devils, the demons, charge over us. Therefore, by immoderate eating and drinking and lust, they urge men on to sin. They urge men on to sin. So immoderate eating and drinking and lust, it will definitely lead to sin. So we are desirous of satisfying the cravings. We said, all right, we're hungry. But when we're hungry, we are stuffing ourselves and drinking and overeating. This gives the demons opportunity to enter into us. Because through excess, they do not maintain moderation. Excess. Be not drunk with wine wherein is excess. Excess, there's nothing we should do with excess. It's moderation. For as long as the measure of nature is kept and legitimate moderation is preserved, the mercy of I Am does not give them liberty to enter into men. So the Most High's mercy, we are there showing moderation. The Most High's mercy will prevent them from entering. It will block them off and say, no, this is a one who is not indulging in the flesh. This is the one who is indulging in the spirit, has their mind set on the promises, and just sees this world as somewhere to pass through, not something to indulge in. So the Most High protects us who are not indulgent, who are in legitimate moderation. And this is why people fasting is important. And not only fasting, that makes sure that after we fast, we do not go into, because there's a tendency in us. When we fast, we just want to go eating. We fast, we come off the fast. And this is what this is telling me. We come off the fast and we moderately come off. We come off the fast and then we do not go back into gluttony. Because this is what got me sick once. I tell you, boy, I live all of this so that I can understand. I got sick of this once. Came off a fast and then into big eating and I got sick. Yeah? For as long as the measure of nature is kept and legitimate moderation is preserved, the mercy of I Am who I Am does not give them liberty to enter into men. But when either the mind falls into impiety, or the body is filled with immoderate meat or drink, then as if invited by the will and purpose of those who thus neglect themselves, they receive power as against those who have broken Torah imposed by I Am who I Am. So, as long as we give them the permission, they receive the power. It is as if we have broken Torah when we are not moderate in our eating and drinking. It sounds simple. As I said, there's so many things to this salvation here. There's so many things to life. Life is not as simple as we take it. Yeah? Oops. You see then how important is the acknowledgement of I Am who I Am and the observance of the divine obedience, which not only protects those who believe from the assaults of the demon, but also gives them command over those who rule over others. And therefore it is necessary for you who are of the Goyim to betake yourselves to I am who I am, and to keep yourselves from all uncleanness, that the demons may be expelled, and I am who I am may dwell in you. This is speaking to the Gentiles here. So you see, it's important that we keep ourselves from all uncleanness, that the demons may be expelled. So we don't need anyone to come and expel the demons from us. By our choices, we can. And at the same time, by prayers, commit yourselves to I am who I am, and call for his aid against the impudence of the demons. For whatever things you ask, believing, you will receive. So what we are doing here today, people, we are speaking about the unforeseen enemy, the unseen enemy that is there right around us, battling us every day, and no one really pays attention to them. But they are the ones that are getting us into trouble and getting us to sin. But even the demons themselves, in proportion as they see faith grow in a man, in that proportion they depart from him. So you see, faith is what expels the devils. Faith is what expels the devils. When they see faith growing, then they just have to leave. They have no choice. But even the demons themselves, in proportion as they see faith grow in a man, in that proportion they depart from him, residing only in that part in which something of infidelity still remains. So as long as there's some lack of faith, the demon hides in that part. But from those who believe with full faith, they depart without any delay. That's why faith is so important. That's why faith is so important. Let me say it again. But from those who believe with full faith, they depart without any delay. For when a spirit has come to the faith of I am, it obtains the virtue of heavenly water, by which it extinguishes the demon like a spark of fire. Fire! Fire! When a ruach has come to the faith of I am, it obtains the virtue of heavenly water. That's why Hamashiach said, if any man thirst, let him come to me, and out of his belly shall flow rivers of living water, by which it extinguishes the demon like a spark of fire. Chapter 18. There is therefore a measure of faith, which, if it be perfect, drives the demon perfectly from the inner being. But if it has any defect, something on the part of the demon still remains in the portion of infidelity. And it is with the greatest difficulty for the inner being to understand when or how, whether fully or less fully, the demon has been expelled from it. So, when we have any sort of lack of faith, it becomes difficult now for us to know whether the demon is still there, because the demons do not show up themselves. What a thing that we have to fight. What a battle. For if he remains in any quarter, when he gets an opportunity, he suggests thoughts to men's hearts. You see it? You see what we have to fight? You see what we have to battle? This is why we have to understand this devil thing. This is why we have to understand this devil thing. If he remains in any quarter, when he gets an opportunity, he suggests thoughts to men's hearts. And they, not knowing whence they come, believe the suggestions of the demons as if they were the perceptions of their own spirits. Man. So these are the thoughts that we have within us that come up at times. And how we measure it to the law and to the testimony, we have to make sure that we follow Torah and we follow the Messiah. This is how we weed it out. When the thoughts come, if they are not in line with the Messiah, if they are not in line with the word of the Most High, then we have to dismiss it. Thus they suggest to some to follow pleasure by occasion of bodily necessity. They excuse the passions of others by excess of gall. They color over the madness of others by the vehemence of melancholia, and even extenuate the folly of some as the result of abundance of phlegm. So this has to do with sickness, I believe, and acceptance of sin in people. But even if this were so, still none of these, get this, still, none of these could be hurtful to the body except from the excess of meats and drinks. Excess of meats and drinks help to cause sickness, because when they are taken in excessive quantities, their abundance, which the natural warmth is not sufficient to digest, curdles into a sort of poison, and it, flowing through the bowels and all the veins like a common sewer, renders the motions of the body unhealthy and base. Food, excess, drinks, excess. This is what causes sickness and causes the devils to have their charge over us. Therefore, moderation is to be attained in all things, that neither place may be given to demons, nor the spirit, being possessed by them, be delivered along with them to be tormented in ageless fire. You see? We have to have moderation in everything, so that the demons have no place with us, so that our spirits cannot be possessed by them, so that we can be delivered from the torment in ageless fire. And then the next verse, I think we can end there. We can end there. So this is it, your people. The justice of the Most High. Yeah, the justice of the Most High. And the justice of the Most High, along with the hidden demons. So the demons are hidden, and we have the justice of the Most High. When we walk in the justice of the Most High, it can expel the demons. When we walk in wantonness, surfeiting, drunkenness, cares of this life, when we walk in immoderate living, when we go after lusts and desires, etc., the devils are given charge over us, and we cannot walk in his righteousness. All right? All praises to the Most High. So let me go and see if there are any questions. I hope this was edifying to you. Any questions there before we go? Yep. All right, any observations, any questions? Someone says the book of medicine is hidden by Rome and Edom. They have all the books, we have nothing. Yeah. I believe this is also why most people do not have the Ruach, Holy Spirit, living with them, because that leaves the vessel vulnerable for possession. Makes sense. Romans 6:23. Wages of sin is death, I think that is. All right. Would indulgences refer casinos? I don't understand the question. Indulgences, casinos is gambling. Gambling is a whole bunch of sinfulness. Yeah. I guess, well, by the time you heard this, indulgences has to do with anything that we don't do moderately. Demons set snares to entice and trap mankind and to destroy him. The victory over them is the keeping of the law of the Most High or the doing of the word. We are always in spiritual warfare. That is so true. Psalms 19:7-11 teaches us how to stand in the battles. Psalm 19. Psalm 19:7-11. The law of I am is perfect, converting the soul. The testimony of I am is sure, making wise the simple. The statutes of I am are right, rejoicing the heart. The commandment of I am is pure, enlightening the eyes. The fear of I am is clean, enduring forever. The judgments of I am are true and righteous altogether. More to be desired are they than gold, yea, than much fine gold. Sweeter also than honey and the honeycomb. Moreover, by them is thy servant warned, and in keeping of them there is great reward. All praises to the Most High. Yeah. Our belly and our appetites have become our gods. Yep. All right, all right. This verse in Numbers witnesses as too much meat gives us mucus in our body. Indeed. Indeed, indeed, indeed. All right, going down. Mad emotions like the Kundalini Ruach, and people assume it's holy. What do you think about pastors encouraging us to speak in tongues? I've never done it, so I don't want to pretend that I can. But everything that happens in the Christian church is a danger, because Christianity is based on a flawed foundation. Flawed everything. Flawed. So if the foundation is unsound, then it's going to be very unstable. So whatever I got from that religion, I hold it very, very lightly. The Most High puts truth everywhere, but a lot of error in the Christian religion. So speaking in tongues, etc. I was there in a Pentecostal church trying to speak in tongues. It didn't work for me. Most High kept me away from it. And then I get to realize more than sometimes I look at it and say, man, evil. It is evil what came out of some persons. Wouldn't say all, but some persons, it just did not look right or sound right. You want to live in righteousness and get barakah. What about those who live in righteousness? You want me to give curses. What say you, is this justice? You want to live in unrighteousness and get breakfast. Barakah. Okay. I think that's why fasting isn't really encouraged in the world. Yes. Yeah. This is what the Ruach told me this week, Elder. This reading just confirmed the words of the Ruach. This also ties to the body really being the temple, but the world and churchianity tells the world it is a physical building. Oh, yes. So deceived, thinking it's a physical building, focusing on the building and not focusing on our own temple. What book was the reading where Joseph was the father of the Messiah? It is the Gospel of the Holy 12. I'm not sure if that is also on the website. I need to put it there. I don't know if it's there. What is the overall way to overcome what's been planted already? The overall way to overcome it is walk in faith, full faith. This full faith makes the demons run away. Full faith and righteousness, holiness, walking in the justice of the Most High, which is in rectitude, in right standing, morally upright. Just walk in righteousness, in full faith, and they will flee from you. What if a person is overcome by these things already? How can they overcome or be delivered if already overcome? As I said, walk in full faith, they will flee from you. They will flee from you, as Kefa just told us. If a person has any form of what they call infidelity, that is when they have power. But as long as someone is in full faith, then they will just push like fire, burn these devils away. How would you express such to persons as who may still partake in mad emotions and have younger children? They believe it is the way. Is it idolatry? Hope that makes sense. Boy, I tell you, how can you reach to people who... people have to have the desire for truth. People have to have the desire for truth. That is the sad state. If they don't want to hear, you cannot force them. So they will have their children. You have to just try your best to prick them and to give them access to the truth. Probably give them a teaching such as this, yeah? In a dream not long ago, I heard, Baal be driven out. You will have peace in JC. Now I'm trying to get anyone on a name technically. I use Emmanuel too, but I heard JC. You see, the Most High is merciful, and He meets us wherever we are. If He knows that JC is what you believe in, that is why we hear, even though you hear us talk about JC, we don't use it, etc. If people use it, we do not condemn people for using it. Okay? Because the Most High meets people wherever we are. He is more merciful than most of us think. That is why we tell people we are not in the name doctrine. We don't follow people and fight down people with names. Yeah? So, I know more about the name JC. In a dream, he would not tell me JC. Understand? He would not tell me JC in a dream. But if he tells you JC, well, he meets you where you are. What about generational curses? How do we undo these? Generational curses, we had a period, was it around December? In December, where we had some teachings about strongholds that we had, including generational curses, and how to pray and how to repent of them. We did some repentance and we listed some repentance on our website. There's a teaching about deliverance from evil spirits and a whole thing. We dealt with it last December. Yeah? So you can go back and check those out. Not able to find the book on the website via the search bar. Oh, wow. Let me see. Let me see if I can find it. Nazarene. I'll just put in Nazarene and see. I don't see it as well. How should I do it? I'll probably have to try to put it on the sidebar. Let me see how I can do it now. If you I'll have to try to find out how I can put it on the website. Yeah, sorry about that. I'll have to see what I can do. I'll have to see what I can do. Ah. All right. All praises, Joshua. All right. All right. And by the way, I said today we are making a kind of an appeal. We did it on the radio the other day. And you know that we were in South Africa and there was a particular family there that we met. There's a particular family there that we met, and they were good people, in which, honestly, we could not say this about most of the people that we met in South Africa. Most of them were not good to us, but these particularly were good people. They were not South Africans, they were from Zimbabwe. And they had a property on one of the main roads in the town where we were. And we met them through our outreach, and they came to where we were, and we gave them the word, etc. And they were Seventh-day Adventists, but they continued to, as we went through our different challenges, they continued to be there. And one particular brother of ours, when he left and he had nowhere to go, they helped him to find a place, and they helped to put him up until he could find somewhere to go. Now, these people in particular, they helped the people in the area. They helped the natives in the area because that's what they had to do, because for a foreigner to come and own land, it is not easy. They are expecting things. And he told me this whole story of what he went through, the different struggles he went through, meeting after meeting. People in the community didn't want him to get the land, and he had to go through a whole lot. And as a compromise, he had to be helping the community over the years, helping the community. He had a shop on the main road, and he had to be helping people non-stop, helping people. Then comes foreigner, go home. Now, these people are legitimate. They have their papers. They can come and go to Zimbabwe, no problem. They speak the language fluently, and the people have said, go home, and have started to persecute them. Their place has been looted, and money stolen, broken into their place, but they have certain assets. They have like a van. They want to get repaired, etc. And they want to get to go back to Zimbabwe to start over anew, because they are threatened, because the people there want the foreigners to go so that they take over. So we are appealing for your prayers. And not only for your prayers, those who are moved to contribute to help them to get to move to back to Zimbabwe, where they can receive their they can start over. So anyone wishing to help, please email me. I'm gonna put my email address here. I'm gonna put the email address there, so you can email us, and then I'll send you the details, which you can send. You can send to them. There is a bank account that they have, and you can send it through westernunion.com online, and they get it in their bank account. Now, these people were good people, selfless people, a fine example of sharing. I can tell you that. And as a matter of fact, lest I forget, one of our broadcasts, live broadcasts in about 2024, thereabout, one of our live broadcasts was from their property, because they gave us the opportunity to come and broadcast from their place on the Sabbath. And they gave us their chairs, they set up everything, made it good for us to actually have our live broadcast. So this is my appeal for them, not for me. You can send it directly to them, and I'll give you the information. Just email me, webmaster at justaword.org. Webmaster at justaword.org. All right? That which is going on in South Africa is crazy, crazy, crazy. But yeah, it is what it is. Would ministering to someone battling homosexuality about Emana be wise to help them? Everything turns to the promises. Remember, we said the promises. When you turn to the promises, and the promises is of salvation for our people, salvation for our nation, return to Mount Zion, eternal life, all of the promises that come to us, those are the promises that we minister to everyone. And those promises cannot be attained through imperfection. It has to be through righteousness. It is giving out righteousness to attain unto the promises. So if a person is homosexual, they know that emunah, faith, is believing in the Most High for the promises. That is always something that you speak about, emunah. It was the pastor that baptized me, and he was saying it proves the Holy Spirit was present. I think some people felt they had to do it as proof. Thank you for your answer. Oh, yes. That's what they told us, but that's not it. If they had the Holy Spirit, when the Messiah was promising the Holy Spirit, you see, people, there are many spirits about, as we spoke about the devils today, and many of these devils are being confused for the Holy Spirit. It says, Hamashiach said he gives the Holy Spirit to them that obey him, for one. They do not obey. Again, Hamashiach said, when the Spirit of truth is come, that is Ruach HaKadosh, he will guide you into all truth. And are they guided into all truth? No, they are stuck in lies. Understand? When the Spirit of truth is come, he will guide you into all truth. So to know the Spirit of truth is to know someone who is being guided into all truth. It's moving from truth to truth, from faith to faith, from truth to truth. That is how you know the presence of the Ruach. When she is come, the Ruach Amat, the Spirit of truth, she will guide you into all truth. All right? Do you have any study that Saturday is a true Sabbath? Asking out of sincerity. You can go to our, if you go to our website, justaword.org/calendar. From that page, I think from that page, we have different articles that help to reinforce. It's not one article, it's a whole lot of different articles. There, you can choose one of them. One of them has to do with if it's Saturday is a Sabbath, whatever. You can go there and find it. There is something there, all right? All praises to the Most High. Yeah. The training that you and many others have received during your time in the wilderness, do you believe it will be used to help others in the coming wilderness? I do not know. I believe so. I think so. But I do not know. I don't know what the will of the Most High is. I don't know how much He will use me. What? I do not know. Cannot comment on what I don't know. All right? All right. So I want to get off before 3 hours is up. And so we are 2 hours, 55 minutes. Thank you all. Only hope this was edifying to you. Do have a great day. Let me play this song before we go. And I want to test this to see how it comes through. We're going to sing. We started it and it did not.
Yahusha says to be perfect. And whatever we ask of Him, we shall receive. Abba, help us be holy. Teach us to be perfect. Make us to be like You, because we believe. Oh, we're gonna sing. We're gonna lift up our hands to You. Yeah, we're gonna sing. We're gonna lift up our voice to You. We've left this world behind us. Our hearts are set on You. We're looking for Your city, the Garden of Eden. It's like we choose. Let's worship in Ruach. We gotta worship in truth. 'Cause that's expected of me, and what's required of You. Abba, pour out Your Ruach. Abba, lead us in truth. Draw us into Your presence. We need more of You. Oh, we're gonna sing. Oh, we're gonna sing. We're gonna lift up our hands to You. Yeah, we're gonna sing. We're gonna lift up our voice to You. We've left this world behind us. Our hearts are set on You. We're looking for Your city, the Garden of Eden. It's like we choose. Yahuwah says to be holy. Yahusha says to be perfect. And whatever we ask of Him, we shall receive. Abba, help us be holy. Teach us to be perfect. Make us to be like You, because we believe. Oh, we're gonna sing. We're gonna lift up our hands to You. Yeah, we're gonna sing. We're gonna lift up our voice to You. We've left this world behind us. Our hearts are set on You. We're looking for Your city, the Garden of Eden. It's like we choose. Yahusha says to be perfect. And whatever we ask of Him, we shall receive. Abba, help us be holy. Teach us to be perfect. Make us to be like You, because we believe. Oh, we're gonna sing. We're gonna lift up our hands to You. Yahuwah.
Shalom, shalom, shalom.